Hi, today we're going to talk about the importance of self-defense and physical fitness. Bullies only respect strength. They don't respect anything else. Any form of weakness is a vulnerability that they will use to bully you. They don't respect anything but strength. So the sooner you understand this and the better you understand this, the smoother this will go. So let's start with some stories. This is story time, okay? So I remember a guy in prison. He was very small. Some of you probably feel that you are much smaller and weaker than your bully. And this guy I met in the hole. I went to the hole for fighting. Everyone's fighting in prison, right? And then I'm in there, and my cellie is Mouse. His name is Mouse. Mouse was very short and very skinny. He was a mouse. That's why they called him Mouse. But guess what? Mouse had already stabbed 5 people in prison. This was number 5. The reason he's in the hole is because he stabbed 5. He stabbed another person. Because what happens is, people see Mouse and they think, oh, I'm bigger than Mouse, I'm going to bully him. He had a heart of a lion, and he said, no, you're not going to bully me. And they beat him up, and then he's going to go get a knife and stab him. So Mouse, in all likelihood, is probably still in prison getting bullied and stabbing people who bully him. The never-ending cycle, okay? But the reason I'm telling you this story about Mouse is because he needs to learn how to fight, and he needs to work out and make physical fitness a priority, because otherwise some of you think that the solution to your bully problem is a gun or a weapon, right? But it's not, because the bully may just be verbally bully. You have to know how to verbally bully. The bully may just be, what if the bully's just pushing you, physically pushing you? Are you going to be okay shooting him? No. I don't even think it's legal if the bully's pushing you like this, just pushing you, that's an assault, right? But do you have the legal right to shoot him? I don't think so. I think that's an overreach. I think the point I'm making is this: if all you have is a gun, your only reaction could be gun. But if you have practiced physical fitness like I'm suggesting and taken a self-defense class, you have more tools in your toolbox. You have more options, okay? So what Mouse could have done was practice fighting skills, practice self-defense, and work out, okay? It's not like he didn't know these things, but he just he's Mouse, and he's not doing that, but he's at the same time, he wasn't going to be pushed around. He was not down with the bullying stuff, okay? I don't want you to be like Mouse and overreact, and bullies need to be pushed back, but they don't need to be stabbed or shot, is what I'm saying. Because now, Mouse, every time that happens, Mouse goes to the hole for like 6 months, sometimes a year, because a stabbing's pretty serious, and they take forever to do evaluation. Is he safe? Where should we put him? Okay, let's separate his enemy. Who are his enemy? All that stuff takes 6 months to a year. He's sitting in solitary confinement. I had to sign a special waiver to be cellies with Mouse because he stabs people. So you sign like, you sure you want this guy as your cellie? I'm like, I'm okay. You know why? Because I felt like, well, we're in the hole. I don't think he has a knife in the hole. Also, he's very small, and if you have to choose a cellie, choose a small one. That's my advice, okay? Always choose a small one. But it's a tragic story, what I'm saying, that could be solved if Mouse knew how to fight and had worked out and had his fitness going on. If he had good strength and cardio, he could fight back. At least some of the times he wouldn't have to pull a knife, right? That's my reasoning. So it's a whole lot uglier and more risky and more difficult to pull out a weapon than it would be to just say, hey, stop bullying me. Okay? If the bully is coming at you like this, I would like it ideally for you to know how to defend yourself like this with an appropriate force, not you took it too far when you grabbed the weapon, okay? You know why they call assault, this is assault, right? But you know what this is? That's assault with a deadly weapon, which is the charge is somewhere between attempted murder and a regular battery is assault with a deadly weapon. It's serious. You're going to get a lot more time in jail, okay? So we're not ever suggesting weapons, okay? Never, all right? Hey, in my taekwondo, sometimes they practice nunchucks and other weapons, and I'm like, I don't see the benefit in it at all, because in what scenario am I going to whip out some nunchucks? If you're going to go for weapon, that's not the right weapon. But you know what I mean? It's not. But that other people seem to enjoy nunchucks, okay? Back to the story. My wish for Mouse was that he would start working out, take his fitness seriously, because you think in his mind he thinks I'm small and I'm very small. Yeah, you know what? Have you ever seen a flyweight boxer? How much is a flyweight boxer? Exactly the same size as Mouse, 110 pounds. But you know what? That flyweight boxer could probably kick my butt, okay? Because his hands are super fast. He could dance around me like this. It's so hard for a guy who's bigger to move as fast as one of those guys. It's very difficult to, and he's just gonna run around me, exhaust me, and then and you know what? Yes, it's true that when he punches me, it's not as solid, but he can punch me 3 times, and you know, it's very frustrating. And what happens is I start to lose my composure. All those light hits in my face, and then I start losing my, you know, and I just start raging like a bull, and I lost the fight already because now I'm fighting sloppy. So the flyweight guy is still able to fight. If he would just go to boxing class, Mouse would have not had to stab those people. At least in some of the situations, okay? So, that's the focus today, is focusing on your physical fitness and your ability to defend yourself, taking a self-defense class, okay? Okay. A lot of you guys are being bullied, right? And I want to tell you about a group of people that are bullied a lot in prison. Okay? We know gays are bullied a lot in prison. But there's a subsection of gays that gets picked on even more, and that's the transsexual, the male inmates who cross-dress and they are feminine, and they have to do their time. They did whatever crime they did, they still have to do their time. Okay? And so these they have names for them in there, and they might not be appropriate names to call them out here in society, where we don't want to disrespect that group of people. So I'll call them transsexuals. Okay, trans. I'll call them trans. So the trans always getting bullied. Okay? Treated badly. I remember one time I'm walking out of Chow, right? And just by random release, you know, there's a trans right next to me. And she's walking and I'm walking. And so I hear the guys behind us go, they said the F word, right? They called her A, you know. And instantly she turned, she whipped out a razor blade that was glued to a toothbrush, and she said, "Who said it?" And all those big tough guys, those tough bullies, they all stopped and they didn't say nothing. Because you can't win that fight. You cannot win that fight. If you fight the trans and win, big deal, you fought a trans. You're not going to get no reputation, I fought a trans and won. No. But if you lose, and she has a blade, so you could easily lose. If you lose, the shame. You picked a fight with a trans and lost. Ooh, not good for your reputation. So they shut up and pretended it didn't happen. But it's bullying happens when it looks, you know, in public, we don't know how fit someone is or what their self-defense skills are. But that's why they poked. They called her a name. Hey, F-A-G. Hey, F-A-G, right? They poked, and she's, what? You want the bear? And if they had poked and she had not reacted, they would have just kept poking her, you know, and bullying her. And it could have got, you know, they are vicious. You know bullies are vicious, right? I don't have to tell you that because you already bought the video, okay? So, the trans could have also followed my advice for Mouse and worked out and did her burpees and her push-ups and her sit-ups and her cardio and learned how to box. Okay? And that would have helped her not have to carry that razor blade everywhere. Okay? And it would also earn more respect, because I've seen it many times where the gay guy gets picked on by this OG thug with all the tattoos, and he's just a big gangbanger guy, and he gets his butt kicked. Bad. One time I saw the gangbanger get his ass kicked so bad, right, that after they came off a lockdown, he came onto the yard and he publicly apologized to the gay guy. He says, "Hey, I disrespected you, you whooped my ass, and we're good, no hard feelings. I regret, you know, I apologize." Which is rare, very rare in prison to see an apology. He did that. And I guess it was, I can't understand why you would pick on the gay in the first place. You thought he was an easy target. He turned out to be a difficult target. Okay, so you need to change your mindset and understand that yes, you can improve your physical fitness dramatically no matter where you are in your life. And yes, you can join a self-defense class and make dramatic improvement in just 6 months. You'll know how to fight much better in just 6 months, okay? So, it's story time. I'm going to tell you one more story, okay? I'm going to tell you a story about an inmate named Cloudy, okay? Cloudy was a man who had a disease in his veins and his arteries that was causing poor circulation in his leg. And they had to cut his leg off right below the knee, okay? They chopped his leg off. This happens with some terrible diseases sometimes, like diabetes can easily result in they cut your foot off or your leg off, okay? So Cloudy got his leg cut off at right below the knee, right? And they said, hey, we can give you this wheelchair or we could give you a prosthetic leg. I admire Cloudy so much because he said, give me the prosthetic leg, okay? And he still walked the yard every day. He was walking everywhere. And he walked with a little limp. He walked like this, right? And yes, he would get bullied still, okay? But he would defend himself verbally, and he did have homies, like I've been telling you. He had homies, like I remember one time when he went into the shower, okay? And he had to take his prosthetic leg off and leave it, you know, where it could be dry. And some idiot bully grabbed his prosthetic leg and took it as a game. Like, he took his leg. He took his leg. But because Cloudy had homies, they quickly said, hey, that ain't cool. That's my homie. Give him back his leg. And they got his leg back and they gave it back to him. That's homie love. If you don't understand what homie love is, watch the video I made called Allies and Homies. But that's homie love. When I'm helpless and someone took my leg, I want to have homies that I can rely on and trust it that they're going to help me go get my leg back. Okay? And I treat those homies with special high regard, VIP status. When I eat food, I share my food with my homies. When my homies need something, oh, I'm gonna help. Oh, you're out of toothpaste. Here's some toothpaste. Oh, I got this coming. I'm gonna bless you with some extra. I'm gonna show you my gratitude because I can't wait until I need you. I have to strengthen that homie love into a bond like this. That way I know that when my leg gets stolen, my homies got my back. They will help me go get my leg, and that's what homie love is. If you don't have homies like that, you need to develop those relationships. But we talked all about that in the other video, Allies and Homies. Okay, so I respect Cloudy because he had a choice. I could just wheelchair my way through life. I could take the easy way. He said, nah, I'm going to still walk like a man. And Cloudy could still fight. I mean, obviously he couldn't fight as great as he did with 2 legs, but he's not a disabled person. Okay, he's not disabled. Okay, he refused to say, okay, I give up on fitness, I give up on self-defense. Nah, he still will fight. He's still a man. you just took his leg, but you didn't take. He's not out of the game. Okay, so I hope Cloudy inspires you that whatever your physical condition is today, you might be overweight. You might be soft and your body never have worked out before. You might have never been in a physical fight before. Well, Cloudy lost his leg and it didn't stop him. Okay? And I want you to take my advice and make this a part of your lifestyle. Okay? Regular physical fit. As soon as this video is done, me and my wife are going to the gym and work out for an hour. That's a good day. Tomorrow, Taekwondo class. This is my life. Okay? This is my life. I want it to be your life. Because bullies can come from anywhere. They're ruthless and cruel, and you know, you have to be ready. Okay? And this is how you are prepared for any bully. Okay? So the rule is never get soft. Right now, you're watching this video because you got soft. You allowed yourself to get soft. I don't know your situation. Maybe you had an injury and that gave you a valid excuse for, I can stop working out. Maybe you have a problem with food consumption and you're overweight, and that's actually drawing the bullies because they look at you and they go, this guy can't fight. He can barely walk upstairs. I'm going to pick on him. You're attracting bullies with your poor health, with your lack of physical fitness. Anyone can lose weight and anyone can improve their physical fitness, and anyone can take a self-defense class, a martial arts class. Anyone. Okay? There's a 10-year-old girl in my class. There's a 6-year-old girl in my class. Okay? Anyone could take martial arts. Okay? Planet Fitness, every summer, they say to teenagers, hey, you're out of school, right? Free membership for summer to Planet Fitness. Because they feel like, well, if we get you started now coming to Planet Fitness during the summer, then when you're 18, you're going to just sign up because it's become a habit, okay? And it's a great idea. And it's super healthy. So, never get soft. Why? The world is hard. The world is a tough place. And you don't have the luxury of being soft. Never. You don't. Because the bullies. And they found you, and they will always find you. And they'll always randomly poke you. Hey, they're going to mess with you to see how you react. And so that's why we're always physically fit to the best of our ability. And we're always thinking of self-defense, always. So, okay, never get soft. Okay, I'm going to talk briefly about the different types of martial arts there are, but by no means am I an expert in this subject, but I'm going to give you just a brief overview of each style of martial arts. My advice would be to Google search martial arts classes near me, because proximity matters a lot. If you like kickboxing, but the nearest kickboxing gym is 50 miles away, don't join it. You're not going to get there. It's too far away. Meanwhile, if there's a wrestling class 5 minutes from you, take that. Because you'll get there more quickly and easily, and you won't lose all that hours wasted in commute. And since you don't know anything about martial arts,